So I didn't realize that some people are not as comfortable using SketchUp as they should be. And I totally get it. I resisted SketchUp a long time. So instead of just starting drawing and explaining how to draw, I wanted to do a video that helps you set up a template. And one of the things I want to talk about today is tags. And as soon as I click that, it closes. Setting up tags and how I do it, but doesn't mean it has to be this way. Um, a lot of people will use tags and they'll say stud. Like if there's, let's say they're designing a house. Excuse me. You're designing a house, so all the components in a house, all your studs, your plates, wall sheathing, sheetrock. All if you get into that level of detail. Well, the problem with that is if you look, it's alphabetical. So what I did is I wanted to have in the sequence that you actually build, I wanted to have footers and then stem walls. And so I came up with a numbering scheme and I used 4 digits so that I could have a whole bunch of options because there's always something you want to add. And it doesn't have to be this way. This is just my way. Um, let's build some tags. And then when you draw, as soon as you draw something, label it. So let's build a tag. We're going to click the plus button. And let's just start with 3010. And we will call this, I wonder if I need wall. Let's just call it framing. This will cover, I'm trying to think ahead because I'm going to have roof as a separate category. So framing, wall. Let's just do that. Bottom plate. There's that. And then I wish they had one that would say duplicate, because then I got to go like this 30, 20, brass manging. Oh, you know what I could do? I could just do this. Copy. I think there's a right click rename, but I'm going to go like this. I'll make this 20. And this will be wall top plate. Man, I don't know if I need. So here's what my thought process is. I don't think I need this much numerical separation between these two items. So I could make this 15. And then we'll start another one. We'll make this one 16. And we'll call this the double plate. I know some people call it the top plate. Some people call it the second top plate. Really, the only two plates that really matter are your bottom plate and your top plate. And then that next one, whatever you want to call it, that's just for tying things together at intersections. That's it. Because even your wall sheathing doesn't even totally get onto that plate when you think about it. You have 8-foot plywood and 8-foot 1 1/8 total wall height. Yeah. We got that, and then we could do plus. How about 3205? And that would be framing floor joists. So you get what I'm doing here? I know you do. You come up with really what I should do is probably sit down and put all this in Excel and come up with a numbering scheme, and to the right of each number, uh, figure out what I want to be using, tags or whatever, for everything in the whole house, everything that I think I would ever want to see. And then as I draw those things, apply the tag to it. And that's the next thing we're going to do is I'm going to go rectangle. Let's see. Am I even in this? Yeah, rectangle. I love the rect. Some guys don't like the rectangle. I love the rectangle. If I'm going to draw something, I I just left click one time there, and then I come over and I start doing this because I want this to be a bottom plate. And then if you look down to the right hand bottom corner, it says 7'6" and 7/8, comma 7 9/16 inches. So that tells me the long direction is almost 8 feet. And so what we're going to do is go 8 feet is 96 inches, comma, and we'll make this 2x6. So there. That's how rectangle works. And I always, when I don't want to leave it close to being square because then I don't know which direction is which. And I totally get what a lot of the guys who don't like rectangle are saying. There's 1/2 inch. So now you go 1, 2, 3, G. That's one of the first things you do. You either make it G or you make it a component. And I think I don't know if this is right or wrong, but I'm going to draw a framed wall. And I think what I want to do is go group and the other top plates group. But I can make the stud a component. That way, if I have to raise or lower the stud, it raises and lowers all similar. So let's make it, let's add one this here, 30/20 framing. Wall studs. And what we'll do is we'll go 8 feet. So we could make duplicates of this and make 9 foot, 10 foot. And 92 and 5/8 plus 4.5 inches is actually 8'1" and 1/8. I just don't want to write all that out. So I'm going to come on here. There's a couple ways we could do this. First of all, I'm going to highlight this and I'm going to come over to bottom plate. And here's one of the ways, like if you've got a very complex model and you want to make sure you're getting the right things, turn off this little eye, tap the flag, tap the item, boom. And the only reason it had that blue silhouette was because it was highlighted when I made it go invisible. Check it out. There it is. There it's gone. There it is. There it's gone. Now, I could either make a copy of this and rotate it up and then re-tag it as a stud, or I could just, and you know what? When you're in this window clicking and you come back to the drawing screen, you're not in the drawing screen until you click on this app. Because I hit the shortcut R and nothing happened. So now we're going to look over here. It says 2.5 by 5.5. So I want that to be 1.5, comma 5.5. And then we're going to go P. And we're going to type in 92.625, which is, if you want to run over to Home Depot or just look them up online, that is the length of a pre-cut stud for an 8-foot wall. And I only clicked twice, and so it didn't quite grab everything. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3. And this time I'm going to do a component. And I'm going to call this stud 8-foot. And then maybe in the description I can go 92.625. Glue to none. What would the glue to be? That's kind of cool. I've never used this very much. Oh, now this is cool. I'm not going to go look it up, but let's say it's 369. Definition size 92.625 inches. You could put the Home Depot exact URL to that item, and then I don't know. I don't know what this is. Oh, wait a second. That's a 2x6. Oh yeah, I haven't said yet. Okay. Well, that's going to be 4 or something. And I'm going to put the dollar amount sign. Okay. Let's just hit create. Boom, there it is. And we're going to put these on 16-inch center. So if you were to hook a tape and go to the center at 16 inches, these studs are 1.5 inches wide. So you're going to come back to 15.25. So this first one, you're going to go M, Alt, and see it gives you that plus sign right there on the upper left of the icon. And you're going to start dragging along this way. And if you notice, that's the red line. And that's the green line. So I'm going to go red line, 15.25, enter. Then I'm going to go, since it's still highlighted, I'm going to go move option or move alt. And I'm going to go 16, enter. And then I'm going to need that one plus, I'm guessing 1, 2, 3, let's just do 4. So before I click anything or do anything, I'm going to type in 4x. Boom. And then, you know what? What does 5x look like? I'll bet 5x is off the end of the, yep, just a little bit. So if I did 3x, but I know what I really want is 5x. Whoa, that's not what I wanted. Because I got you. Okay. We're going to go boom, undo, undo. We're going to do this again. MX or M plus 15.25. What happened was I activated a command and it no longer gave me the option to keep changing. Yep, I got to do M plus 16. Oh, you didn't see me do M plus. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm using Stream Deck. I keep telling everybody, go look at the Stream Deck Mobile. $50 for a lifetime license, and you can use an iPad or a phone or whatever to any tablet. And you got all these one button push actions that happen. What is the deal here? I keep forgetting. Oh, I never left clicked. Duh. So yeah, this will be a great fun video. And plus, we're going to go 16, enter, 5x, enter. And then I'm going to hit the space bar to unlock all that. I'm going to take this, just hit the letter M or use your move command in the Stream Deck. So now this is an 8-foot board. And we're going to go M plus. Oh, I'm going to go there. And then we're going to do the same thing, M plus. So mechanically, these are all exactly what they're supposed to be. So I should be able to dimension from this corner to here, and the true height of an 8-foot wall is 8'1" 1/8. And if you went in and looked at the stud size, 7'8" 5/8, or same as 92 5/8. An easy way to remember this is that the number is always one less than the floor and 8 5/8. So 8'8" 5/8 would be a 9-foot wall. 9'8" 5/8. Those are the heights of the studs. Or you can just remember 92 5/8, 104 5/8, 116 5/8, that kind of thing. And this one we never said it was a double plate, so we got to go tag that. So let's highlight this. Well, don't even highlight it. Never mind. Let's go to double plate. Turn that off just because that way I can see it disappear. There's double plate. Here's top plate. Double plate, top. Oh, good. Okay, and then let's turn that back on. And let's do studs. I'm going to leave them on just so you can see what happens. You don't have to turn them off. See how they click blue for a minute? Okay, so now what's good about this is if you wanted to show the process, you could turn all this stuff off. And then I don't really need these. They could have their own tag if you needed. So you would start an animation and you would start off with bottom plate, top plate. It actually should then be studs, right? Double plate, studs. Yeah. So let's change that up a little bit. Bottom plate, top plate, 15s. That's why you don't want your numbers too close. I'm going to change this. Delete to 20. And I will make this one partway into the previous one. Let's just do that, 17. So now, if you were to turn them on in sequence, bottom plate, top plate, studs. Let's see how that looks. So in the animation, you'd have that. And then you'd spread apart your plates. And then you'd put your studs in the wall. And then you put your double plate. Yep. And so what that does is it everything in here is identified. There's info, like if I was to go like this, whoops, come here, you. If I grabbed all these, it's going to tell me the volume. That's 3.1 cubic feet of wood. I wonder what advanced attributes are. Oh, look at this. So it tells me the price. It tells me the size. I'm sure there's some way to do some material list calculations. I don't know, but I just would assume that. Go look up John Brock. He's pretty awesome on that. And there's a guy from Australia too that has pretty cool. I think it's you have to subscribe to it. Or Medique Bim. Boom. And that leads me to these tabs up here. What I did was all these that you see, footings, foundation, floor zero, whatever. These are all top-down plan views. So let's just look at that real quick. So what I did was to make this, I had to go to camera, go to top view and parallel projection so that it looks just like a 2D plan. We're going to get the color out of here. So when you look down, no matter what you do, it's not 3D. And I did that for all these because this is what I would want in my plan set for plans for submission per permit. And then let's say I wanted to do an elevation. I could do front view. And notice how this looks 2D. I'm kind of tired of this guy being there. It's still that that parallel projection, so it looks kind of weird. But what it does is it's straight on. So if I needed to have this wall, and then let's say if they ever fix their dimensioning to where it's really nice and good to look at, I guess that's not so bad to look at. I wonder. Yeah, see, they won't let me pull to like after the fact, editing a dimension. That needs to be something that they allow. Let's do this. Let me show you how it's. Why won't it? There it is. So 1'4". Hello. Don't hit escape. 1'4". This should be 2'8". And then this should be 4 feet. So there you go. That's a 4-foot sheet of plywood. That doesn't look too bad for dimensions. It's dimensioning 3D is always hit or miss. I don't like it sometimes. And then if you want to go back to the ISO, you just hit ISO, and all of a sudden it changes these settings here back to perspective, and it happened to be ISO. If I get lost, let's say we're doing something and I can't figure out where I am, I can hit zoom out, and it zooms way out. So like if there was a whole house and I'm stuck inside, because here's something that's weird about that. If I zoom in and go into this board, all of a sudden, let's see, am I in there yet? It's all of a sudden, it's hard to get out of here. You scroll forever. So here I can take the 3D mouse and push away, and it's a lot quicker. But you can get stuck in your geometry. And so then I just hit zoom out, and that's a setting. When you make a scene, where are they at? I'll have to think about where I've seen that before. But anyways, when you make a scene, it takes into account how you're looking at it, like working front right. Watch this. There's a drop down, right? And it says all this. Watch what happens when I change this just a little bit. I'm going to remove the axes, these colored lines. Oops. Okay. Now there's somewhere in here where it lets me update this. I got to think about how that works, because I've done this. I remember. Oh, yeah, I have to turn on scenes, probably. Scenes. Here we go. Working front right. So that turned those back on. So let me turn them off. Update scene. Boom. So yeah, right click, hit update. I want to update the selected style. So now, whenever I turn on working front right, and let me turn this on. So here we go. And I want to see working front right. I just go boom. And look what it did. It shut off the axes, and it gave me this view. So figure out some of these 3D views you're going to need just to show as a detail or whatever, and get the right nice setting, and then set up a scene. And then when you go to layout, you can export exactly this, because it'll be able to read this from layout. It'll know. Yeah, see, ISO main, I got that turned off. I bet zoom out. Does it come back on? Oh, maybe I've shut off the axes on everything. Let me see front view. Wow. Yes, that's wild. That's on all views, which isn't bad. I mean, I don't think it sends these to layout. I don't know. I really haven't messed with. I use Chief Architect because it's just so fast and simple. I don't know, and I am not afraid to say I don't know. Anyways, there's this video. It's 23 minutes long. Man, that went fast. I hope you look into tags and come up with your own tagging system. You don't have to use this, but you're welcome to, because everything's free. Life should be free. This planet should be free. Scenes, and that's it for now. Enjoy.